Welcome back to the podcast. It's your host, Kamie Crawford.
And Nev Schulman.
How are you gonna... You can't jump in on my intro.
I'm your co-host.
Yeah, I know. For Catfish on MTV.
All right.
This is
I brought you jumped
Relationshit.
in on my show.
That's true. Actually, I think we give the credit to Max on that one.
All right. All right, go ahead. Do the intro again.
No, this was the intro.
No,
this
no,
is great.
do it again. I want to hear.
Because
I wanted the full. I want the full experience.
No. It's okay. We can do a combo today. It'll be a combined effort.
All right, fine.
Well, because every email that we answer on the show is like, Dear Nev and Cam.
Hey, guys and gals, and welcome back to your favorite trash talk podcast about love and loneliness. This
What?
is Relationshit.
That sounds more like Catfish, the podcast.
Yeah, all right, maybe.
That's
By
what
the way,
it
there
sounds
is
like.
a Catfish podcast.
There is.
So I'll just get that plug out of the way.
There we go.
If you like this podcast, you might like the Catfish podcast. Although,
Probably.
sadly, Kamie is not on it.
I'm not on it. If you don't know the voice or the face, if you're looking at these clips, this is Nev Schulman, my co-host, or I'm his co-host, or whatever. We both drive the boat of Catfish on MTV.
Yeah.
And what a fucking amazing job we have.
Today is actually a special day.
It is, even though this isn't coming out
No,
today.
I
but
understand, but
Yeah.
it's a significant day because the airing of the 200th episode of Catfish is today.
Yes. How does it feel? Do you feel 200
Episodes
episodes old?
Honestly, in a weird way, I feel like that's it. Like it's only been 200.
yeah.
But I guess that is a lot.
It is.
No, like not a lot of shows have ever made that many episodes.
Yeah. Well, I feel like because we think of it more in seasons, and
Right.
we've been in season 8 for 500 years, which it feels like we've had 200 episodes just
Right.
of season 8
Right.
alone. It's hard to think about what 200 episodes even looks like.
Yeah.
But the show started in 2011. Was that the first airing of the first
2012.
episode? 2012.
So it's also the 10-year anniversary of the show.
Right.
This November, I think,
Which is crazy.
or something. Yeah. It's pretty wild.
I feel like I want to ask you all the questions that everybody always fucking asks us on
Do you
every
have a
interview
plan
we do.
for this, Kamie? Because otherwise, where are we going?
I'm going to punch you in the mouth. Let me tell you guys something, okay? The entire relationship that Nev and I have is like, I always say that you're the big brother that I never asked for. I don't know how I got so lucky.
So lucky.
I'm so lucky.
Well, and I never got to be a big brother.
So that's
it's
why
fun
you
for
pick on me.
Yeah. Because I had a big brother, and I always, he was very sweet to me, but like, I was still a little brother.
And Max was older than you.
And Max, and not only was Max a little older, but he also was one of my brother, and still is one of my older brother's best friends.
Right.
So he was always like Rel's friend.
Yeah.
Who was older and cooler and like, did all the things, and I kind of got to tag along with.
Yeah. So now you just abuse our
Right.
relationship
So, exactly.
and treat me like crap. No, we have a
you
great
like
relationship.
a sister.
We have a great brother-sister relationship most days. Some days I want to kill you. Do you ever feel like you want to kill me?
No.
Oh.
Definitely not. Although, to be perfectly honest, when you first came on to sort of audition,
Yes. Oh my God. I have to. That was my question. Was what did you think when I first came on the show?
so I don't remember exactly, but I vaguely remember getting home from whatever that first sort of episode was, and my wife Laura saying, how was it? What do you think of her? And my first reaction was, she's too pretty. Like
What?
her whole I was just like, she's like a glam girl. Like she's not right for the show, because the show is about like real people who dream of looking like you, and the idea of bringing you around to make them all feel terrible about themselves was a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't take this incredibly gorgeous woman to these people. Like it's horrifying. I was like, this is I can't do this.
Meanwhile, they asked me before I did that episode to tone it down. That was my tone
Well,
down.
and I
You've
thought, like,
seen me
and
now.
right, that's right. And I was like, and she's got such fashion. She's like, you were just too put together.
That's a great compliment.
Yeah.
That's actually a great thing. I'm okay with that, even though I did tone it down.
But then I started to learn that, like, even though I don't think you wear too much makeup, but I think everybody who wears makeup is too much. Like, I don't think women, whatever. I think
don't
girls are
need
beautiful and don't need it. But I understand
that's
that.
what they all say.
But it's such a big part of female culture, and we have so many female fans, and I think they really love and identify and are inspired by your sort of beauty persona. So it actually worked out.
Yeah. No, it did. honestly, when we go on the road, I don't think I make anybody feel bad, except for maybe you. When
I'm right. Well, so what ended up happening was my concerns were valid, except it was that I would feel bad because now every time we meet someone on the show, I barely exist.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was the star of the show. Now the door opens and it's, oh my God, Kamie, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Hi, oh my God, give me a hug. I love you. Come in. And then the door shuts in my face and I'm like, I'm also here.
You know what? You had a good run.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy to not be
The star.
the star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you say so. Okay, here's my first real question. A building is on fire.
Oh, wow.
Max and I are the only ones in it. You can only save one of us. Who are you
That's
saving?
easy. Max.
What?
Come on.
Fuck you.
I mean,
How are you going to make the show?
well, either Max comes back because he feels so indebted to me for saving his life.
Oh.
Or
Makes sense.
I replace you.
With who? Ariana Grande?
Ooh.
I always think Ariana Grande is going to
That
come
would
in
be
and take
great.
my job.
You would, I think you would have to bow out for that.
Oh, 1,000%.
Right, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? As long as I could
Yeah.
be on the crew.
Sure.
Like maybe I could get her coffee. I could get her matcha. Okay, so obviously this is an advice podcast.
Let's get to the relationship part.
But because obviously I know you want to give some fucking advice, even though you need some advice. But we made it more into like a Q&A / asking for advice.
Okay. Oh, from people who wrote in with stuff?
Of course.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, we have, look how many.
Wow.
People.
Is that a lot for...
This is a lot.
Okay, great.
This is a lot. This is a hot episode.
By the
Got
way,
in good.
if anybody is interested, my wife Laura and I did a write-in question relationship Facebook watch show
the
called
show.
We Need to Talk.
Yes.
So if you want to go back and watch some fun episodes of that, go have at it. We Need to Talk on Facebook.
About all the married tea. Yeah. Speaking of tea, you spilled mine on a podcast recently, which I loved.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
Oh my God, I was so worried. I was so worried.
Why don't you tell the people what it is that I do that you find so amusing?
So I recently found out, well, I'm very invested in Kamie's relationship life and dating life.
You didn't say anything about my video that I sent you last night.
What was there to say?
You asked for a picture of the person that I was hanging out with, and I sent you
You
one,
did.
and you
Okay.
said nothing.
Great. Oh, what do you want? Like a review or a thank you?
9 out of 10, something.
Anyway, so I've been following Kamie's relationship life since we started working together, and as we become closer friends, I get let in more and more. And now I feel very fortunate because I feel like I'm right on the cutting edge. Kamie recently revealed to me that one of the guys she's been seeing, she doesn't want him to know that she's seeing or watching his Instagram stories. So what she does is she clicks on the person's story immediately to the right of his and then pauses it by holding the screen and slides her thumb over to reveal the beginning frame of his story so she can get a sense of what's happening without indicating to him that she's watched it.
It doesn't add as a view.
Right.
I'm not participating in that.
Right.
You're
Which
not
is
gonna know.
incredible. I mean, the fact that you even consider that.
You don't even
And
know
that you
that I'm watching
discovered
it.
you could do that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know you can do, but to think that you would be like, I want to see what he's posting and where he's at, but I don't want him to know that I'm seeing it.
Yes. Because if you don't want to invest in like making a lurker account,
Right.
or if they're private, it's the only way to be able to watch without watching.
Right.
Because I feel like when I'm looking at my story views and I see one of them in there, I'm like, gotcha. Like, caught him.
You saw me.
You saw me.
Right.
And I've reached my target audience. But
Right.
I don't want them to think that I care.
How much do you care if someone doesn't see the story you hope
Oh,
they
I'm
see?
fucking ruined.
Okay.
It's I might as well just take it down. I've thought about like taking it down and then putting it back up, but then I'm like, everybody's
my
going to be
God.
like, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Okay. We've got some questions.
Okay, let's go.
Somebody wants to know, how often do you guys get catfished with fake stories?
Well, so I'm sure we're not the best people to even answer this. We have an incredible casting director, Rachel.
Yes.
Who goes through all the emails and the applications, and I'm sure lots of them are either just obviously fake and goofy, some less so, but they do their best to vet them before they kind of present them to production as a possible episode. But we've had a few that slipped through the cracks. We've had, I think, 2 episodes of people who lied to all the way till we filmed, and then we sort of caught them on camera.
Well, that's what we always call it out when it's like that. Because it's too hard for us to be able to film with people when we know that they're bullshitting.
Right.
Like, that's pretty much all we talk about when we're not with them.
Actually, more than 2 episodes now that I think about it. At least 3.
I can count like 3.
Well, because there was the 2 girls from New York and LA that hadn't ever met in person, but they did know that they were real. Mm-hmm. And then there was the girl who lied to us, Taylor. Mm-hmm. And then there was also the woman who catfished her ex-husband. Do you remember? And then he came to the park on a bicycle, and she then revealed at that time that, like, oh, sorry, I knew who he was this whole time. I catfished him to show him. Like, that was wild. Yeah. Shelly. I think her name was Shelly.
And then there are the episodes where we're filming it and we're like, this person clearly is trying to, like, promote their SoundCloud. But, you know, there's things, there are still aspects of reality, but we can't control that. There's nothing that we can fucking do about that. I think people are also confused about...
Shout out to William the Baddest.
Literally, shout out to William the Baddest, who's on every single TV show now. He was just on another MTV show the other day. But I think people don't realize that we know absolutely nothing every time that we film.
Right.
We know nothing.
Oh, yeah, nothing.
We don't even know where we're going half of the time. Everything that you see on the show, as far as the trajectory of how it goes, is exactly how it's happening in real time. We see the email. That's the first time we're hearing the person's name. That's the first time we're hearing where they come from. Yep. And then everything else that follows is the first time we're hearing anything.
Now, I know that it might be hard to believe because my reading of the email is so dramatic and heartfelt, and
that's because you have 3 kids. You read every email like you're reading a bedtime story. And I have my best friend loves it.
Bedtime stories are great practice for sort of reading aloud.
Yes,
obviously,
and you do a great job at it. That's why
you know what? That's so funny. I never thought about it, but how most people probably very rarely, if ever, read aloud as adults.
That's
unless
true.
you have kids.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Right, you never have to.
That's why when you see anyone reading out loud, they sound like, and then you go to, because like there's no like.
No, you got to really give. You got to tell. You got to bring the listener on a journey.
Yes, character development. There has to be. Every character has a different voice.
All right, next question.
I'm not fucking done. You're so annoying, but that's something I think that is like the biggest misconception, that we have any idea about what's going on at any point in time. We don't. No. I think of it as like an escape the room, where you have like a master person who knows something, but we're the people inside of the escape the room.
I never hardly know what's going on in any aspect of my life.
That's true.
Yeah. That's how I like it.
Just freeballing.
Yeah.
In case you guys don't know, Nev is a Libra. What's your rising again? We figured this out.
I don't know.
We figured this out.
I know. I always forget.
But it was on Pattern, and I need you on CoStar, so I'm gonna need
I know,
you to
and then
my
login got fucked up on CoStar, and now I can't log in, and I gotta just make a new account.
I'm gonna text your mom and get your birth time, and we're gonna figure this out. Okay, here we go. Does Nev ever get bored catching catfish?
Not yet. No, I mean, I don't think of it as catching catfish. I look at every episode as a very different, interesting journey, travel to new places, and I love what I do. And I find ways to spice up every episode, oftentimes on camera, but even more so off camera, by either going for interesting different runs. I've recently become a passionate thrifter. I go to a lot of pawn shops.
You guys.
Yeah.
Nev.
Well, that's where I get my jewels.
Is having his midlife crisis, and he has become a pawn shop.
A pawn star, I think.
You are a pawn star 1,000%.
Yeah.
Every town we go to.
I'm very close to start. I think I might start getting some tattoos. I feel like I feel like I kind of want to start a little collection of small tattoos.
Wait, okay. This isn't a question that
this is not.
But is the tramp stamp gone or not?
Gone.
Completely.
I mean, there's a very, very a hint of a shadow of.
What possessed you to get that?
Come on, that's not why we're here.
They want to know. They want to know.
My brother got a tattoo when I was 17, and I thought that was so cool. So I was like, I gotta get a tattoo. And I thought, if I'm gonna get one, I should get something big, because that's like my dumb personality. But I don't want to put it somewhere where everyone can see it. So I'll put it on my lower back.
What the
And at the time, that was like the beginning of the tramp stamp phenomenon. And so I got like a big design that I came up with on my lower back, because I was like, this will be dope. It was so stupid.
And now you only have the other one is just the
Well, that's cool. I like that one.
yeah, that's
the tiny,
cute. The little
yeah.
mouse thing.
Right.
So what would you get?
I don't know yet. Maybe like the kid, something with the kids, like the initials of the kids, or I don't know.
I want more too, actually. I think if tattoo parlors were open during the
I
pandemic,
feel like I should
would
get something
have
for
face
Laura
tats.
too. I think that would be cute.
Yeah.
Like we're you know.
I'm gonna come up with something.
Okay.
I'm gonna creative direct that as I do
Thank you.
everything else. In a
Next
relationship.
question.
This is not a fucking deposition. This is a podcast. I'm going to read them as I see fit. And right now, we wanted to know about your tramp stamp.
A mega pint.
By
I brought 2 mega pints of
You definitely
frozen margarita.
pissed
This
on
I
mega
didn't.
pint.
I ordered 2 margaritas to go, and they filled up 2 giant mega pints.
They're huge.
Yeah.
And then we did a fucking tortilla
You
challenge
barely
and
had
my
any.
face
Come
is
on.
still red because I have to conduct this show.
Well,
okay.
if this is how you're doing it sober, maybe
I'm
you should
gonna
have some alcohol.
Literally kill you. I think about killing you 5 times a day minimum, even when you're not around.
Just any given day.
If there was a fire in a building and it was even Max, I would save Max.
What if there was a fire and it was just me?
I would get a pint of gasoline and just go ham on the place. Like, burn it faster.
Pint? Gasoline's usually measured in gallons.
I don't know that because
Okay.
I don't know shit about cars, and you know that. So
It's
why
not
would you
even
call it
really a
out?
car thing.
Why would you call it out? But you can't.
You can't do much with a pint of gasoline. I mean, you could if it's like a Molotov cocktail.
Well-
like, you know. Anyway, continue, please.
Stop. Okay, moving on. Why did the Catfish reunion stop after the first 2 seasons?
That's a complicated question.
We want to know.
95% of which I don't know the answer to. But I think there was a fantastic producer, director at MTV named Dave Cyrilnik for years who did a lot of the live MTV big shows and after shows. He was fantastic. He did all of our live after shows and reunions. And then he left and went to do something else. And I think with him kind of went a lot of that sort of stuff. But I never really could tell if people loved those or not.
I did. As a fan
I did
watching it.
too. Yeah. But maybe they didn't rate well enough. I don't know.
I feel like the Where Are They Nows would be cool. I feel like we should bring those
I love
back.
the clip shows too. Those are so fun.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys work on more than one Catfish case at a time?
We don't.
Yeah.
I mean, the production team, who are fantastic. They're working on multiple stories all the time, trying to set things up, schedule stuff, communicate with people. We have producers who go out on the road to scout location. I mean, there's like lots of moving parts all the time.
Yeah.
Kamie and I, we get called in once everything is 100% set and locked and ready to go, just to film the episode, and then we either go home or we go to the next one, depending on scheduling.
Yeah. We kind of have the easy job.
There's been a couple instances where we filmed part of an episode and then we had to stop. And in between finishing, we had to film another. So I guess sort of occasionally we do have multiple things happening, but not like in the same week.
Yeah, which is always a shit show.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good question. How did you know Laura was the one?
Oh. Okay, there's a few different moments.
I feel like I have one in my mind, but I don't want to blow
Well, so
it
the
out.
first moment I knew was literally the first 2 things she ever said to me via Instagram direct message.
Which is where they met on the gram, guys.
Right.
It can happen.
So I messaged her because she had commented on a picture I'd posted of my motorcycle. But she hadn't commented that she liked it or anything. She just tagged 2 friends. Because this was before you could send a post to people.
right.
You had to just tag them in
Right.
it. And so I was like, ooh, she follows me. A, I didn't realize. And B, she like engaged with that picture. So that's an opening. So I DM'd her and said, want to go for a ride? And she wrote back, ha, duh. Which was pretty good.
Yes.
But then she really stole my heart when I then said, tonight. Because I was leaving the next day to film an episode. And she wrote back, but I wore a dress to work with no panties.
Boom.
And I was
Sold.
done.
I'll take this
Sign me
one.
up. Where do, I do whatever. Like, let's go.
And you guys went.
And we went on a date. I bought her a pair of underwear, having never met her, and brought them to her.
Where did you buy them from?
I went to Victoria's Secret.
Perfect.
She still loves them. She still has them.
Perfect.
And I got a pair that matched my motorcycle, which was like neon. Like I had like a it was great.
Wow.
Anyway, and so I kind of knew then, but then it wasn't until our second date, which was a week later, when she invited me to. I flew back to New York. She invited me out to the Hamptons because she had some friends she was renting a house with, and the first day we got out there, it was just me and her on the beach, and I guess I had smoked a little bit of weed, and we put on some music, and at one point she just got up and started just like frolicking and prancing in the surf and the waves, and I remembered so distinctly that moment. I was watching her with this big smile on my face, and I just knew, I was like, this is a memory I'm going to save and have forever, and this is a moment that's good. Like, I could feel a life-changing moment happen. Like, I've never had that. And I knew, it was like, this person is changed my life. Like, and I just knew. Oh. I know, it was pretty magical.
I've never heard that one. Oh, that's like a core memory.
Yeah, it was a core memory. And I don't have a lot of those.
Wow.
So the fact that she was able to create one was like, oh man, I feel like I'm an actual human being right now, and I've never felt that. So this person must be powerful.
Were you like, had you said I love you at that point?
No.
So did you feel like when you felt that, were you like, is this love? Like, do I love her?
Well, I then over the next few weeks and months realized I was falling in love in a way I'd never been. And though I had deeply loved previous girlfriends, I discovered a whole new level of love that I had only imagined was like movie bullshit Hollywood love. Like, and I was like, oh my God, I'm feeling that insane love that I've only ever seen in movies for this person.
Laura.
Yeah.
I know you have to be listening, Laura. If you're not, I'll send you this clip only so you can replay it every single time Nev gets on your nerves, because that is so sweet. Right. I was honestly thinking that it must have been when you almost lost her because you were like...
I know, I did. Well, I totally fucked it up. Well, I freaked out.
Yeah.
After 5 weeks of dating, I was still so convinced from my previous relationship that I was fucked up and broken, and I didn't know what love was, and I was going to screw it up, that I kind of cooled off and pulled back. And at which point she was like, okay, well, if you're not into this, then bye.
Love that.
Not talking to you anymore. I'm going to go to Europe and then date other guys.
Fuck.
And then she made me like really work for months after that to date her again while she was still dating other guys, until finally I got her pregnant. And that was it. And then I had her.
Dick. You're like locked in.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No. And now you have 3 kids. That's insane. Wow, she didn't even do the like go to Miami. That's what I did after my breakup. I was like, I'm gonna go to Miami.
Europe. She went
Europe.
She went. Oh yeah.
Jeez,
Well, it wasn't a breakup. We'd only did on 5. We only spent 5 weekends together.
She was done with your ass.
She
was.
It.
That's done.
Well, you know what really did it? When she came back in September from her summer foray, it was hot in New York, and she lived on a 4th floor walk up, and so I begged her to tell me, like, just to let me know when she was getting back. And I guess I saw on her Instagram that she was back, and her birthday's in early September. And I said, I have something for you, please, like, just let me meet you at your apartment. And so, and because she didn't have air conditioning, so I bought her an air conditioning unit, and I carried it up the stairs, and I installed it for her. And I think that was enough of a thing for her to be like, fine, I'll go out with you again. Like, thank you for doing that.
Get the air conditioner, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You really did it. I don't know. A lot of people talk about if he wanted to, he would. But some people say, like, no, like, you never know what people are going through. But I genuinely believe that when a man wants something, they're like a fucking dog with a bone. It's like you can't keep them away from it. So you shouldn't be settling for half-ass shit.
No. And I still feel that way.
Yeah. No, you literally do, because you talk about Laura all the fucking time. I'll literally text Laura and be like, your husband will not stop talking about
well,
how in love he is with you.
I also, part of the reason that I think, and this is if we're getting really deep and technical about like at least male-female relationships, like whether Laura intends to or not, or partially does it on purpose, like I always feel like I could lose her.
Yeah, good.
And
that's how it's
right.
should be.
And so I always feel like I need to be working.
Yes. That's why you hit
And
up
I
them
want
pawn
to.
shops.
And I want to. Right. And I love doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so true. I think it's cute how you always like, even with the antiquing in the pawn shop fucking shit that you're going through right now, you always go in and you're like, oh, I got to get this for Laura. Like, Laura would love these. She would love this. And it's like you're constantly bringing something back that will impress her.
Well, I'm also constantly trying to make up for dumb shit that I've done.
Yeah. Well,
Wait till you hear the dumb shit I'm about to do.
I don't want to hear it.
You have no idea.
I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me. It's
sure?
not the fucking limousine. You're not buying a fucking limousine.
I'm flying to Las Vegas at 6
No,
o'clock
you're not.
to buy that limousine tonight and drive it back tonight.
You haven't told her.
No. I'm going to pick her up from the airport on Friday. On Friday in the car.
You guys, I've been trying to talk this man out of buying a stretch limousine.
It's not a stretch. It's just a standard length.
A limousine is still a limousine. Where are you going to park it?
Hey, look. When Neil Armstrong flew to the moon, do you think they asked him where he was going to park the fucking lunar module? No. You figure it out, okay?
I think Neil asked his wife first if it was okay for him to go to the moon.
Well, if she had said no, do you think he would have stayed home?
No.
No, and thank God he didn't.
Okay. We'll talk about this later. We will talk about this later.
I want it.
I know that. But that doesn't mean... Is it the one from the Jonas Brothers?
Yep.
No.
Yeah. It's so dope. You're gonna love it.
I am convinced that
I'm gonna drive it to.
limousine,
you're gonna see it this week.
We're not.
You're gonna ride in that car this week.
Is it black?
It's dark cherry.
It's infested. The insides.
What are you talking about?
Convinced.
The guy who owns it is insane. He loves it. He's
Okay.
No.
Do you want to be like him?
It also only has 25,000 miles, which means that over the course of its life from 1989, it's barely been used.
You need a black light in there and see what's on
It's not
those
like some
seats.
gross car that's been rented out. It was probably owned by some private person for a long time. Don't worry.
I'm worried. I'm very worried.
If we make it back, you're riding in it.
Jesus Christ. I'm moving on because I can't with you. Okay, somebody said, when do you think it is appropriate to have a fully committed relationship?
When do I think it's appropriate?
So, like, I guess, how long do you
right.
think you should be dating before
Well,
they
so
make
look,
it official?
I've always been the kind of guy that when I meet a girl that I like, I go all in right off the top. Mm-hmm. I don't casually date.
Yeah.
Unless I'm not that into you and I'm just like enjoy occasionally seeing you to sleep with you. But like when I meet you, if I like you, like we're spending every day together. Like that's it. It's 100% right away.
You're in love with me. That's a Libra trait.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Libra trait.
And Laura's the same way. Like we talk all the time about how people have been like dating for years until before they move in, and then they move in, and then it's a few years before they get engaged, and then they're engaged for a few years, and then they get married, and then they wait another few years for. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it doesn't take that long.
If you're in love, do all of it.
That's what you were telling me before my last breakup. You're like, what the fuck is taking so long?
Right. It's not right. If it's not happening fast, then
get rid of it. Yeah. No, I feel like 6 months to a year
before
to know that somebody is like the one that you want to spend your life with. But for boyfriend, like to like
wait, it doesn't have to be your life with. I think you should know pretty soon, within the first month or two, if this is someone that like you want to call a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then I would give yourself another 6 months or a year before you're like, this person is great. Like we're serious. I think maybe this could be the one.
Yeah, we can move.
And obviously, during that time, you should live together and make sure that you're compatible in that way and travel together and meet each other's families. And once you've checked all those boxes and had a conversation that should include some basics like kids and where you want to live and all blah, 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 blah. Like, if everything lines up, great.
Zodiac signs, get those on the first date so you can cancel them. Just cancel them out. Okay. How do you not lose hope in dating in 2022?
Well, I don't need to have hope in dating.
Of course. But with all that
we've
seen...
I have hope for you.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I mean, look, for better or worse, the human species continues to reproduce and grow in size. Mm-hmm. So clearly, it's working.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I don't need to have hope. We unfortunately have an overpopulation crisis.
Yeah.
So everything seems okay.
Yeah. I think, well, some people were asking about, like, do you still have hope in online dating, too?
Oh, yeah. I think online dating is great.
Yeah.
I think the fun and mystery and chance of meeting someone from a world that's otherwise completely out of reach because of geographics or socioeconomics, whatever. Like, I love that. I love the sort of roulette world that we live in terms of who you can meet and how you can fall in love.
Yeah.
But I also understand how that complicates and oftentimes includes or brings up difficulties because people from different worlds and different backgrounds may not be compatible, though they might be attracted to each other. So like it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I'm not single.
Well, let me tell you, I'm having a great time
Oh, well, good.
so far.
Yeah.
Catch me next year when I'm like, why am I still single?
Right. Oh my God, I'm 30.
I can't believe it. Don't remind me, please. Please. Oh, somebody said how much of the show is scripted. I think people are under the impression that we actually get physical scripts other than the email, which we do not.
Right.
I would love
Look,
one.
Yeah. No, I mean, every time we film an episode on the road, we always hire production assistants who are local to the places that we're in. Mm-hmm. And those people tend to work on lots of shows that come through their cities or towns. And they've had a history of working on, in many cases, reality TV shows. I've heard from so many of those local production assistants that they are blown away, shocked, cannot believe how we shoot our show. The fact that we never shoot things twice, that you and I never know what's happening, and that we just go into scenes and like go through the scene and then it's over. Like they can't believe how real the show is.
Yes. I had a PA on the last episode we did. He was like, so who are you guys working with today? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He was like, they don't tell you that? I'm like, no.
I would say the only sort of aspect of the show that is predictable is like the sequence of events. Mm-hmm. There's a format.
Yes.
So we know that day one, we're going to read an email, then we're going to get on a phone call, and then we're going to say like, okay, let's go here. And then we're going to get there, and we're going to like, we know how each day kind of ends up, going schedule wise.
Yeah.
But all of the content, all of the comments, all of the story, all of the react, like all that's just happening in real time.
Yeah. Here's a question that I also would like the answer to. Why are we always in a park?
Well, there's probably the technical explanation, which is you want a place that there aren't going to be a lot of people, where you have room to film and, space for people to move around. This is something I've learned making the show is that like people's energy tends to be better and more animated when they're standing. Because if you sit down, then everything kind of gets like a little
somber. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're standing up and you're outside and like you're stimulated by your environment, people are more engaged and I think more animated.
Yeah. And you don't feel boxed in. I feel like when we've done reveals inside, it feels kind of claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Versus when we're outside, even though I'm not a nature girl.
But
as we know,
it is funny that the whole park thing. People love that we're always in a park.
Always in a fucking park. So strange. Oh, somebody said any marriage tips. I got married 6 days ago.
Well,
Give 3.
Okay. The first tip comes from a great book, which I can't remember the name of, by this woman who's like a very funny. Anyway, she says the key to staying married is not getting a divorce.
Oh.
Which I know sounds like goofy and an eye roll, but it's true because shit's gonna get hard. And if you call it and you say, you know what, this is too hard, and you get a divorce, you get a divorce. If you stick with it and you trudge through it and hope, obviously, if it's bad, get out of there.
Yeah.
But like everybody, perfect marriages, all of them are going to go through dark times. And if you're willing to go through those, there will then be you'll get out of it and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
So that's like something I think about all the time, because like Laura's always trying to get me to divorce her. And I'm always like, no, not going to happen.
She's hilarious.
Tomorrow things will be fine.
So
just like get
funny.
to tomorrow, Laura, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, she's constantly threatening, like she's constantly trying to get me to like call it.
She's keeping you on your
Right.
fucking toes.
So for sure, like be prepared and willing to go through some dark years, whether they're a year or a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there. Like shit, it's not always going to be great.
Yeah.
I also think, and I'm learning how to do this better, but like being able to really be there for someone. And this is so hard for guys because this came up recently with Laura. We had spent the whole day together. It was a beautiful day. It was Claire's graduation. Like I had spent all week getting ready and preparing and doing all these things and making sure everything was right. And I thought the event was great. And afterwards, Laura, she had sort of mixed feelings about the day, and she was, felt like she hadn't had a chance to really talk to, like, her review of the day was not what mine was. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, what do you want to do now? Do you want to go out? Come on, let's go. Like, let's just blow off some steam. She's like, well, I'm a little tired. I want to go through my photos and post something or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go out with my friend who had invited both of us to meet him. And it was very clear that was not the right decision. And thankfully, Laura's good at communicating. I'm not. And she said, look, Nev, I just really need to feel like connected with you right now. I need you to stay here. I need you to like love me. And like, we need to like.
Yes.
And so I did. I picked up on the sign. I got the hint.
Okay, good.
But that's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's like just really always saying to yourself, am I hearing her? Am I there for her? Am I understanding where she's at? And what can I do to make her know that I'm available and listening and present to whatever she's going through?
Yeah.
And then, I watch a lot of content online about parenting, and I like memes. And I think one thing that also is helpful advice for guys, although I'm sure they're done listening.
There are 4 of them that listen.
And is not to try and solve women's problems.
Yeah. We don't want that.
Right.
We don't want you to fix it.
Because I always, 90% of the time, my suggestion is just to drink water. It's like, just have a glass of water, you'll be fine.
Oh my God.
I have a headache, I'm dying, I'm sick, I don't know what's happening to my body, what's going on. Did you drink water today? But No. You just have to be there to listen and show them that whatever they need to say or vent or feel, that you are concerned and interested in and here for.
I love this. I wish that my voice was in the back of your head in some of these moments. Like when you fixed your mouth to say that you were still going to go out, what the fuck were you thinking?
Well, I didn't want to be around her. She was sad. I wanted to go out and have a drink.
You're so annoying.
I don't want to be around a sad person.
How do you think she's going to feel about this limousine? How are you planning on rectifying that afterwards? What's the plan?
So I haven't gotten that far.
Okay.
I'm going to pick her up from the
didn't think so.
airport. There's a 50-50 chance she doesn't get in the car. If she does, then I think the drive home she might warm up to it. But like, I'm prepared after I've bought it to just sell it. I don't care. It's not like something I'm attached to. I want to buy it, to have the experience of getting it, driving it back, having it for a few weeks in LA while we're here. And if it's a disaster, well, I get rid of it. It's the experience that matters, Kamie. Okay? Say yes to life. Okay?
No. You know what you need to do? Put some flowers in there.
Ooh, good idea.
You weren't thinking about that? You were just going to pick her up in a dry-ass fucking limousine?
Sure, I should have some drinks.
Something in there.
Uh-huh. No, that's
her
good.
favorite
That's
dessert,
good.
something in there.
Okay.
And then tell her, I got it so you could do a cool photo shoot with it for your content. I thought you would like to do a little.
Right. I mean, the question of the first question is like, well, why didn't you just rent it?
Right.
But you can't rent these kind of cars. They just don't exist. So, but yes, you're right. Well, I want her. I want to help her make lots of fun content. But girls are so hard on themselves.
We are.
Unbelievable.
We are. But she looks fucking incredible.
I know, but
I DM'd her the other day. I
what
was like,
girl
"You look
ever
so
thinks
hot."
she looks hot?
I mean, don't ask me, because there
Yeah.
are times when I'm like, whoa, watch out.
Anyway.
If you make it back after that situation, if Laura doesn't throw you out on the side of
Sure.
the 101, tell everybody where they can find you and Laura and the whole family.
Well, so all I care about is people following Laura. She's way better than me. So Laura is Laura Perlongo on Instagram and Facebook. And then if you want to follow her on Snapchat, I think she's still El Pigo on Snapchat. That was like her OG.
Does she post for
social
everyone
media.
on there?
Yeah, that's where you should follow her. She's great. Every day.
She's always posting on
posting
Snap.
so much fun stuff on Snapchat. EL_PEEGO. Also, my content creator, who I'm now, we're attached at the hip.
Yes.
Kelvin. You should follow him. Kelvin1989KR. And you can follow me, Nev Schulman. Blah, boring.
Nobody wants to.
No one cares.
Nobody wants to.
No one cares.
Well, thanks for coming. I'm sorry this is the last time I'll ever see you because you're going to get murdered by the crazy limousine salesman in Las Vegas. Nev, thank you so much for joining us.
This is my last appearance on anything.
Yes.
Because after my wife arrives on Friday, I am certain to be deceased.
That's it. It's nice knowing you.
Yeah, so thank you for
so
having
much,
me.
Of course.
And goodbye, world.
Goodbye. Hi, I'm Kamie Crawford, host of the Relationshit podcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more videos, click below to subscribe and like this video for more Dear Media content. So shut up and listen.